There we go. So again, I would like to welcome you all. And I'm going to tell you guys something. That is, we're going to take one reading passage from the previous skill, which was about determining meaning of words from word parts. Do you remember that? So we have to use like some part of the word to determine the meaning. To determine means to decide, on the meaning of the word, like what is the best meaning of the word, all right? That, we are asked to, let me say, define or something of that kind, or discuss. All right, let's take a look at this. I know the handwriting is very small, and that's why I have enlarged the text, as you can see. And we're going to read this text, Any people who would like to help me read, guys? So the text is about Juan Rodriguez. Looks like it's a Spanish name. Cabrillo. Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo. Rodriguez. Rodriguez. It's a very popular family name in Spain, right? Yeah, among the Spaniards, people who speak Spanish, right? So does anybody want to read? Let me listen to your reading. No? Nobody? All right. If you change your mind, raise your hand along the way. I don't mind. So Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo was a Portuguese-born explorer who is credited with the exploration of the coast of what is today the state of California. We know, guys, that America was discovered, so-called discovered by Columbus. It is said that like later on, it turned out that, others have discovered it before. But remember, guys, anything that is not written about, published, distributed, it's like it never existed. You know that, guys. All of you guys are, educated people, mashallah, and you know that. If you accomplish something, which is really, highly important, if you do not write about it, document it, publish it, whatever, in that kind of way, where you like give yourself the right to say that you've done an accomplishment, you've accomplished something, it's as if you did not do it. So that's the thing. So the only Christopher Columbus's accomplishment was documented, and that's why he is said to have discovered the new world, which is America nowadays. All right. And like I told you, even when he discovered that continent, it was not the whole, not the bulky part of it, like a big part of it. What he discovered were the islands, that were close to the, the bulky part of the continent. Okay. Jamaica, those, let me say, parts of the world. Let me show you something over here. I hope I can share this with you. I'm trying to, oh my gosh, I hope I don't mess up things up for you just to show you this. Trying to, where is it? The page. I don't know if I'm good at this or not. But if I am, I'll do it again. If I'm not, I'm never going to do it again. Okay? So let me try and see if I can do this. Oops. Sorry, guys. You guys have to be patient with me. Just a little patient. Maybe something good will come out of this. Never know. Never know, huh? So let me see if I can do this for you guys. We're going to go back to the main topic, but I think that, this will be like nice and beneficial. Oh, hope this works out. Okay, so I found something, but it's so small, too small, let me say. I want to find something bigger for you guys, all right? So that, kind of you can understand what I'm talking about, okay? Okay, I think we have found something here. All right, let me try to share my screen with you again. Stop sharing, and then new share. Okay. Is this clear to you guys? Jamaica here on the map. You see Jamaica? Or is it too small? I know it's too small, but can you see it? Huh? Can you guys see Jamaica on the map of the world? This is the globe. You see it?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
It's small, but it's clear. See, so this, when Columbus discovered, America, they say he discovered America. He discovered these islands, okay? These over here, you see them? So this bulky part over here that he did not ever even set foot on, okay? But because these islands, are part of what we call America, so we say that Columbus discovered America, okay? That's what people say, just to let you know. He never set foot on these, lands over here, okay? Now, other explorers, like the man that we just mentioned, he discovered this area, or he went to this area, this explorer that we're talking about. This area is what? Who knows what this area is? I just mentioned it. What is this area in America?
California.
Exactly, California. Good job. So this is what, this person, kind of explored, and not only him, but, the person who explored in the New World, we called it at that time the New World, guys, was someone by the name of Amerigo Vespucci. I don't know if you've heard of him before. Have you ever heard of Amerigo Vespucci? Anybody familiar with him? So Amerigo Vespucci, he's the one who America is named after, because he's the one who really explored the most in the New World. And he discovered a lot of things. He offered the world a journal full of information about the land itself, which we call now America, all right? And about the inhabitants of the land, that is the native Indians, all right? The natives of the land. He gave them a lot of information about them, all right? Yeah. And of course, sadly, these people were vulnerable. They were generous, not generous. They were too generous, too good, too nice, T-O-O-O-O-O, 100 O's next to T. Because, when two is made up of two letters, O-O, it means, it gives negative meaning, guys. So when you're too generous, that's not good, but guys, do you know why? Because people will take advantage of you. They will make use of you. They will laugh at you even, and say that you are, not, let me say like silly, all right? Or let me say dopey. Dopey in Arabic, we say ahbal. Can you imagine that? You're giving, you're nice, you're generous. And instead of them saying, oh, what a nice person, what a great person, they would describe you as dopey. And dopey means, like I said, like, someone who's not intelligent, not clever, does too much for others when it's not necessary, really. All right. Yeah. So that's, what, honestly speaking, unfortunately, I'm going to say this, that's how the Indians were. They were very kind, very generous, very giving. And, the white man, the white men, let's say, but when we say man, it represents the men there, that went and explored those, lands, they befriended them until they knew the land, they knew what it had, the contents of it, until they knew the people themselves, and whether they were able to battle them, let me say, if they were strong enough for them or not, they kind of understood everything about the land and the people of the land. And that's when they were able to, let me say, get rid of them, colonize them, kick them out of the land and take over. All right. Yeah. So anyway, this guy, Juan Rodriguez, oh my gosh, he was among the people who explored, and what did he do? Who was credited with the exploration of the coast of what is today the state of California. So look, guys, explored. He was an explorer. Wow. Sketchy military records from the period. When you say sketchy military records, not ones which were clear, not ones which were, when I say sketchy, like, they weren't clear ones, they weren't good ones, really good ones. When I tell you, if I tell my student that you wrote a sketchy, let me say, essay, it's not a great one, really, okay? Not clear, not complete, something of that kind. So sketchy military records, maybe because the paper is old, that's why. From the period show that early in his career, what's his career? An explorer. During this time, which is, let me say, the 1500s till, let me say, the 1700s even, anybody could be an explorer, and if you were an explorer, you were respected. You know why? because you are trying to, you know, gain a fortune, you know. I'm talking about the West, you know, people in the West, if they were, you know, let me say people who explored, who went in search of gain, you know, that was, you know, something respected. Can you imagine at that time? In his career, he served with the Spanish army, okay? And these people, you know, even though, although they were explorers, sometimes they had to serve in the army, all right? So he served with the Spanish army from 1520 to 24 in Spain's quest, what is a quest? For subjugation, for subjugation of the people. To subjugate a people, what does that mean, to subjugate a people? To colonize, guys, to colonize. Who are we talking about? In what are today Cuba, Mexico, and Guatemala. So Spain, you know, had a mission. A quest means a mission, guys, a job to do, which was what? To subjugate, what? The people, like, you know, to take over and to enslave, when we talk about subjugation, enslave, يستعبدوا, to make them their slaves. Who? The people that lived in these areas, in these, you know, islands. Cuba, and Mexico is not an island, of course, you know, it's part of, you know, South America now, right? And Guatemala. So these areas, all right? Little is known of his activities over the next decades, like, you know, the next coming years, you know, tens of years, you know, there is no document that has information about him and, you know, his accomplishments. When we say activities, like his accomplishments, you know, if you colonize, you know, another land, all right, or a land that is not Western, imagine that was considered an accomplishment. An accomplishment. Imagine, to enslave the people just because, you know, they were not European, okay? So that was considered, you know, a regular act, not immoral. You know, moral means what, guys? What is moral? The word moral.
أخلاقي.
Exactly. But if you colonized people, enslaved them because they were not European, you know, you weren't doing something immoral. يعني ما كنت عم تعمل إشي غير أخلاقي, all right? تستعبد ناس من دول تانية أو بلدان تانية. المهم, they're not European, so it's fine. Because at that time, guys, unfortunately, you know, people, you know, culturally believed that there was a chain, it was called the Great Chain of Being. Have you ever heard of the Great Chain of Being? The Great Chain, in the chain, people in Europe believe that, you know, people have their, you know, levels, okay, or their places in society and in the world, all right? For example, the king is above everyone. Then we have the aristocrats, they're next. Then we have probably, you know, people of middle class, you know, etc. Now the white people, meaning Caucasian, okay, Westerners, all right, people from Europe and so on, they were above any other kind of, you know, kinds of human beings, all right? Like people that came from other parts of the world besides Europe, they were, you know, like between animals and human beings, like in the middle. Not exactly animals, but not exactly human beings. You know, can you imagine that? And so they were not on the same moral ladder of the Europeans, okay? They were not treated in the same way. And so a morality that happened among the Europeans was not the one that was practiced, you know, with these people, because they were of a different, you know, level on the chain, okay, of being. Chain means like a kind of step. There were steps, you know, all right? Yeah, something like that, like a kind of order. Let's continue. Okay, I added a lot, you know, but hopefully that is helpful. Okay, little is known of his activities over etc., but apparently he succeeded, in rising up through the ranks of military. فهذا الشخص Rodriguez Cabrillo, what about him? Juan Rodriguez, what about him? He succeeded, يعني what is succeeded? نجح بإنه إيش? To rise, إنه يرفع من مكانته, all right? When, guys? The ranks of the military. يعني ترقى, you know, في الميليتري في إيش, guys? Yes, exactly, في الجيش.
الرتب العسكرية.
يعني هو ما ضل جندي والله عادي. Yes, I don't know شو الرتب هاي, you know, رائد, مقدم, whatever, you know, more than I do. But anyway, he went up high in his, you know, rank. Rank معناها الرتبة, guys, all right? Yeah.
شو معنى little is known of his activity?
Little is known, يعني ما بنعرف كثير عنه. We don't know a lot about him. Do you know why? Because I mentioned this, Dr. Ghait. I said that, you know, during this time, not everything that happened in the New World was documented, okay? all right? It was not everything was
Okay.
written. Yeah, so little was known. شوي بنعرف عن نشاطاته بعد يعني فترة في فترة يعني معينة في gap يعني we don't know. طب واحد بالماضي إذا ما انكتب عنه شو بده يعرفنا عنه right؟ يعني في كتير ناس أكيد إجوا على العالم أنجزوا وماتوا وطبعا بنسميه إنه إنجازاتهم anonymous. Have you ever seen a poem that was written and under there was the word anonymous? What does anonymous mean? شو معنى anonymous؟ غير معروف، المنجز أو الكاتب أو اللي قام بالعمل. في كتير شغلات على فكرة صارت بالعالم ناس أنجزوها وعملوها unfortunately because it was not documented لأنه ما انكتب عنهم ضاع يعني مين عمل هالشغلة. يعني الناس بتناقلوا مرات بس راحت ضاعت. يعني إذا الواحد بيحكي كلام للي جنبه بنقوله بطريقة تانية. يعني can you imagine? So يعني these things if they were not they were not documented all the time. See, when I said from the beginning, يعني Columbus's work was documented. That's why we know about him. Yani maybe other people have accomplished, but we don't know much about them. All right. Yeah. So we're going to mention here in this paragraph what we know, what was documented about this man. Okay. So anyway, we were right here. So what did we say? Little is known. We talked about this. Okay. In 1541. Look, guys, as early and this. Do you guys know when America was discovered? You know when America was discovered? 1492. Do you know that? 1492, guys. That's when it was discovered. Huh? America sailed the ocean blue. That's a song sung in America, guys, in 1492. Okay? Yeah. So any time, like after that, when Columbus discovered the land over there, and it was known that there was a new land over there because the Europeans did not know this, before. Explorers decided to seek their fortunes there, people who were poor, who didn't have enough money. And then I want to tell you guys something about Europe. In Europe, who got the inheritance? مين اللي كان يورث الأبو, guys, in Europe at that time بهذا الوقت؟ مين؟ Who knows? Who inherited the money? The men or the woman? Who knows? Yalla, guys, if a man died and he had children, who would inherit the money? Nobody knows? Nobody? Or you don't want to speak? What is that, guys? Tell me. Well, let me tell you, since you don't have an answer. It was the oldest son, not all the sons, just the oldest son. Okay? Of course, there were many reasons. One of them was that because this oldest son was supposed to look after the family, it was expected that he would do that, and he was the wisest, and he can do something like that, And then because, let me say, Europe did not want the oldest son to leave the family. There had to be someone there to protect the people, look after them, And when he would get the inheritance, that means he wouldn't, have to travel or go or come or seek his fortune. Okay. So there was a protector there all the time for the family members, even if the father was gone. Okay. However, and they didn't want to divide the inheritance, to divide the land. You know how it is nowadays. Sometimes, some people inherit just a little bit of land and they can't make use of it. The land is divided in a way where you cannot really make projects and, things out of it, in a good way. So that's something. And then that was a way to get the other youngsters, young men, to seek their fortune, to explore, to try to find their let me say their what a means of fortune and money. All right, yeah, to create something now and be more creative. But that was not reserved for the oldest. It was just for the younger men, let me say. All right, move back to this, and if you have any questions along the way, please raise your hand and let me know. Little is known, etc. Where are we here? Little is known of his activities, etc. And then the ranks of them. Okay, 1541. He was ordered by Antonio de Mendoza, the Spanish ruler of Mexico. So who is Antonio de Mendoza? The Spanish ruler of Mexico, to explore the western coast of North America. North, that is close to Canada. All right. Okay. Cabrillo set out in June of 1542 in command of 2 ships, to sail, you need ships, you know that, huh? The San Salvador and the Victoria. These are the names of the ships that he used to explore the north coast of America. He reached San Diego Bay on September 28, 1542, and claimed the terrain. Terrain means like the area for Spain. So easily, guys, explorers would explore a place. If they did not find white people on the land saying that this land was theirs, they would ignore the Indians as if the Indians did not exist, all right? They would, stick a flag in the area and just decide, oh, this area now is for us. Nobody owns it, even if they would see Indians. Indians are nobodies, okay? They were nobodies for them. Can you imagine that? And if they had to kill them, they would kill them. They had to shoot them, they would do so, all right? Like if there was any kind of resistance, all right? Okay. Cabrillo set out, etc., with these 2 ships. He reached San Diego, etc., and claimed the terrain. The peninsula, what's a peninsula? Where he landed is today named Cabrillo Point in his honor. So why is the peninsula where he landed named Cabrillo Point? Of course, after this man, after Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, okay? So we have a peninsula, huh? What's a peninsula in Arabic, guys? Peninsula? What is that? Not an island.
الجزيرة.
Huh? شبه جزيرة. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. So the area has been established as a national monument. So if you go, guys, to areas in America, they don't have, artifacts like we do, like historical, let me say, artifacts, like the ones that we have, like Jerash, like, Petra. They don't have something like that. Like the oldest they have are things that were of, after 1492, which is basically things during the 16th century and after, the things that are, let me say, considered to be monumental or monuments, okay? What is a monument, guys? What's a monument in Arabic? Monument. Something remember.
ذكرى أو شو بسموه.
Yeah. Well, a monument
مش
is
تمثال.
like معلم, we say. Yeah. A monument is something that is like تذكار, we say sometimes, all right?
تذكار.
Yeah, we can say that. But usually a monument is like, it could be a statue. ممكن يكون زي statue. You know what a statue is, right? Like the Statue of Liberty. What's a statue?
معبد.
مش ضروري معبد. No, مش ضروري معبد. Statue, ديروا بالكم, مش معبد. Statue means, guys, like a monument. And a statue is, guys, a sculptor. What is that? منحوتة, guys, زي منحوتة. That's what it is, all right? So المونيومنت ممكن تكون زي نصب تذكاري, all right, guys? وممكن يكون statue, شيء واقف, like مجسم, okay? It could be anything like that. So that's what they have, okay? And they're all modern. يعني كله حديث, all right? It's not old. The oldest is like, يعني for us, not old, all right? Okay, at all. But they're working at it, They have nice places in the United States of America that you can, let me say, visit as a tourist, all right? So what do they have also? Let's take a look. The peninsula where he landed, etc. So the area has been established as a national monument and park. So they made the area, they kind of worked on it and made of it a national monument and also a park. Like people visit the park, حديقة عامة, and it's very nice and beautiful. Everything's modern there, guys, all right? But they have like a monument and maybe it has his name on it, It's very common in the United States, monuments are very, very popular, monuments, okay? But they're all like modern. They kind of celebrate explorers and, and their accomplishments. If, I don't know, the Indians never like those, monuments, okay? Because it reminds them, of the time they were colonized, all right? Now, are there Indians in the United States of America now? Do you know if there are Indians, guys, native Indians in the United States nowadays? Do you know if there are?
There is just a small amount, I think. Also,
Yes.
Small number.
Yes, there are, some Indians, but, as you said, where do they live? Most of them are poor. Do you know that they're poor, although the land was originally theirs? you know, like if they decide not to blend in, guys, to blend in the society and just, you know, think about their inheritance, their heritage, and, you know, have that kind of mind where they're still angry, you know, they're not welcomed. All right. And they are not even provided with opportunities if they have that kind of mindset, if they come with that kind of mindset. Can you imagine? But they decide to, you know, kind of incorporate themselves, blend in, forget about this past that, you know, their ancestors experienced, things are fine. So those who have decided to be lazy, not work, you know, resist in this kind of way, you know what, the American government has only given them reservations. Have you ever heard of reservations? Reservations like what we have in Jordan, like مخيمات.
Mm.
Yes, that's what they provided them with. Okay, can you imagine? The land was theirs, and they live in places like that. So they live in reservations, and you know, they're kind of lazy, bored all the time. You can check it out, by the way. You have something online. You can find something on YouTube about them. All right. Anyway, see, look at the whole text. Where are the Indians in the text? They are there, but they're not mentioned in any kind of way. Can you see? All right. And the local residents each year, so people who live in the area, what do they do in this area? Each year they hold a celebration and reenactment of Cabrillo's landing. Imagine, like, the people of the area, what do? They celebrate and they do a reenactment. What is a reenactment? What does that mean? Like a little play, guys. زي مسرحية صغيرة. High reenactment, okay? Every year, you know, on that specific day, they ask some actors probably to do a play. That's a reenactment. From act, right? Like to repeat what he did, all right? Yeah, but of course it's not Cabrillo who's going to do that. It's going to be actors, right? Of Cabrillo's landing, all right? Now, can people reenact, guys, something that happened? Of course they can, guys. Sometimes we watch movies. Don't you watch movies? And what is said in the movie? This movie is based on a true story. Have you ever read that before? The movie is based on a true story. يعني الفيلم ماله guys يعني مبني على قصة حقيقية، يعني أحداثه أغلبها حقيقية. It happened, you know, with someone, all right? For example. So this is called a reenactment. If we, you know, act something, guys, act a story or an incident or an event which actually happened, it's really a reenactment, all right? Sometimes we add, delete certain things, you know, but it actually happened. That's what it means. From San Diego, Cabrillo continued northward for further exploration of the spectacular California coastline. By November 1542, he had reached as far north as San Francisco Bay. You can look at the map, you know, just to look at these places, guys, if you want to. Although he missed the entrance of the bay due to a huge storm. So he did not pay attention to the entrance of the bay. What's bay, guys? What's the word bay? The bay? What does this mean? Bay, B-A-Y. The bay is like an area with water, guys, all right? Like the beach area, okay? Although he missed the entrance of the bay, it's, you know, a beautiful area, akid, you know, for sure, since it's an entrance of the bay, you know, where there's the shore and so on. Why did he miss it? Because there was a huge storm, okay? You know, عاصفة كان فيه. Soon after, with the approach of winter, he veered south. So, of course, guys, what is this word veered south, okay? So he changed his direction. We were talking about him going north, right? And then here veered south. That's the exact opposite, right? And headed back to Mexico. Mexico is in the north or south of America? What do you think?
South of America.
Exactly, deep south. You know what?
South of United States.
Yes, of America, meaning the United States of America, okay? And it's connected to what, you know, is Mexico, I want to ask you a question. Is Mexico part of the United States of America, first of all?
It's not a part.
Good job. What is a part of the United States of America? There's a state called Mexico that is part of the United States.
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Excellent. Good job. New Mexico. Good job. New Mexico is a state, but Mexico is a country, which is, you know, it's really connected, right? It's very close to the United States of America. It's on the northern border, okay, of South America. Mexico is on the northern border. Listen, not of North America, of South America. Be careful, all right? So, yeah. And above it, we have New Mexico. Above Mexico is New Mexico, right? Yeah. And New Mexico, like I said, is part of the United States of America. So he went back to Mexico. That was his place, He made it as far south as the Channel Islands off the coast of what is today Santa Barbara. Cabrillo, who died on San Miguel Island in the Channel Islands, never made it back to Mexico. Unfortunately, he died before he reached Mexico. It doesn't say why he died. Is it because he was sick? But I would think that he was sick. He became sick, maybe because of the storm. Who knows? He caught a cold. He became sick. I don't know. But he never made it to Mexico. Yeah, lots of these explorers, they died, while exploring the New World, yeah. But they accomplished, in some kind of way, what would not be considered an accomplishment for the Indians. The Indians hated them so much, but they couldn't do anything about it. Like I said, they were weak, they were vulnerable, they were separated, they had different languages, they didn't have the weapons that the Europeans had. That's the thing, and they ended up losing their land, Can you imagine? Now, the word subjugation. Guys, remember what we said about this word? Remind me of this word. Where is subjugation? Do we have any part of subjugation here? What, guys? Look.
Dr. C, control.
Well, it does mean that, but do we have any of the part here in... Do we have any of the part of subjugate? Here it is. Look, sub. See it? Sub means under. See it? Now, will this help me determine the meaning that I know that sub means under? Under the control, guys, really. Okay? That's what it means. When you talk about, to subjugate people, guys, the subjugation of people, to have them under your control. All right? That's what it means. Okay? And of course, who does this? Who subjugates people? People in power who are immoral, by the way, too. So they are in power, but at the same time, immoral, because people who are in power and are moral would not subjugate people, right? You know that, okay? But like I said, why they did that is because, they did not think of them as, people. That's the thing. They did not think of them as people. It's like how some people have this mentality towards animals. Well, that's an animal. Who cares, Got the idea? Like that. They would like walk in the land and not even think about the animals. That was how it was, unfortunately, guys, all right? So they were only human beings. You know what? Listen, let me tell you guys something very funny. So, when the people, the Westerners, in the New World, when they wanted to fight their own country, England, okay? They wanted soldiers, you know that, So they told the Indians, they told the let me say the African Americans, let me say they were slaves really at that time, the people who were black, okay? The slaves at that time. If you fight with us, we will give you something, some kind of a reward, all right? They promised the black people to give them their freedom. Okay, like if the Americans won, after we win, we're going to give you your freedom, the black people. Now, the Indians, I don't know, they told them, we'll promise you something, maybe a little bit of land, okay, some of the land, all right? And, the Indians actually, fought with the American people and with the British Army. You know why? Because they wanted both armies to kill each other and maybe disappear from their land, all right? The black people fought with the Americans, some of them fought with the Americans because they were promised their freedom. And some of them fought with the British Army because also the British Army, said that, we will provide you with your freedom also as well. So they had a cause, the black people, all right? And they asked for it after the war had finished, But the Indians, they were wishing that, during that time, they wished that, both armies would kill each other and then they would give back the land, and it did not work out for their favor at all right? Yeah. So back to subjugate, like I said, sub means under their control. That's in line 3. So if you go up there, guys, line 3, 1, 2, 3, here it is. Where are we? Oh, here it is. So let's start from the beginning. Sketchy military records from the period show that early in his career, he served with the Spanish army from 1520 to 1524 in Spain's quest in their quest for subjugation, to put them under their power of the people in what are today Cuba. So this is the only word, guys, of Indians, people, but at the same time, it's not mentioned clearly who those people were, all right? So they wanted to subjugate them. What does subjugate mean now? Based on this, religion, flag, control, agreement. What? What do you think, guys? Come on, where are the hands? I don't see any hands. Yes, control. Dr. Sana, Dr. Asim, Dr. Isra, shake it, come on. All right, so you're done with the Arabic exam. Now we have to focus on English. We want to do well, right, in English? Yes, control. It's true, because I said under their control. That's what sub means, remember? Let's go for question 2. Who would like to do question 2? You have to read the whole thing and decide on the answer. Yeah, come on. And I know many of you already know the meaning of the word. Come on. I see a hand up, Dr. Asim.
Okay, Doctor. In line 5, the word decades is closed in meaning to number D, 10 years periods.
Yes, thank you so much. That is the correct answer. And if we take a look at the word DEC, huh? It means 10. Now I want to ask you about the month December. December, guys. Which month of the year is it? December.
The 12th, the 12th one.
So it's not 10, it's 12, it's 10 plus 2, huh? It didn't work
Yes.
for them here. It didn't work for them here. Right? 10 plus 2. All right, let's move on to this one. But it worked here for the word decade, all right? In line 8, who would like to do this one? Dr. Asim again. Yeah, let's have you. You're active today. Or is that hand left up from before? Come on. Where are you? Dr. Sanad, Dr. Where
Okay.
Dr. Yeah. Okay, yalla, Dr. Asim.
Okay. In line 8, the word terrain is closed in meaning to land, population, minerals.
Yeah, we talked about it, Dr.
Yeah.
Let me go to it. Look, line 8. Here's line 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, here we go. So to explore the western coast of North America, Cabrillo set out in June of 1542 in command of 2 ships, the San Salvador and the Victoria. He reached San Diego, etc., and they claimed the terrain for Spain. This is what explorers did. When they reached a place, guys, they would claim it for themselves. So what's the word terrain mean? Huh? Yani, try to guess, Dr. Asim, because this is the goal of this exercise, really, to make use of sometimes some word parts. But if you can't, I still think that you can make use of what? So the word see it, terrain, means earth, territory. Territory means area, place, earth, land. Remember, we talked about this before.
Okay.
So what do you think? And let's go back to the sentence. So it means
the answer will be land.
Good. It's land. It's land. Because these people, Dr. Asim, all of them, they were trying the whole time to what? To take land for themselves. Like I said, America, the New World, guys, was full of natural resources. That was the real gold. The land itself was so fertile, fertile is all both fine, by the way, just to let you know. So the word spectacular, Dr. Isra.
Yes, Doctor.
Fact.
Spectacular mean visually exciting, I think. Yeah,
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. But we want to go to the text correct 100%. So this is spectacular, as if, stars are coming out of it, So
Yes.
ruggedly handsome. It's not about being handsome. We describe a man maybe as handsome, a gentleman. Visually exciting, completely uneven, something is uneven, مش متساوي. Unendingly boring, very boring, not like, oh my gosh, like a history class probably, okay? But yes, this is the best answer, but let's go to it in line 12 and count. Let's go down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here we go. From San Diego, Cabrillo continued northward for further exploration of the spectacular California coastline. Wow. What do you guys think? coastline would, look like. It would be spectacular, amazing. I don't know. I think when I think about places that were so beautiful, I don't care what the country is, but the beach, the coastline is so beautiful and unbelievable, mostly at night when there's a little bit of light. All right. So thank you so much. It's true. How about 5, guys? Dr. Ghaith.
The word veered in line 15 is the closest in meaning to arrived, ran, turned, cooled. Letter C, turned.
Good job. Yes, thank you so much for saying that, because we mentioned it here. It's line 15, right? We said that this is 12, 13, 14, 15. Here we go. 15. Soon after, with the approach of winter, what did you do, guys? In winter, what are you going to do? You're going to veer, run away, huh? So, because he was where in the north and he veered south, that means veered like turn. So it is expected that these words are going to be difficult, guys. All right. And,
Change his direction.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know, even though they give you these clues up here, maybe you won't remember them. But from the context, you can tell still. All right. But still, this is a skill. They're telling you that some words, parts of them mean something. So why not try to understand this meaning and make use of it? Maybe it will be in your favor if you know what this, these parts, mean. All right. Something of that kind. So look at the word veer. Maybe is this veer? There's something else close, huh? So the only meaning close to that is this one, which is a little bit not exactly the same look, because veer is VEER, but it does mean turn, okay? And divert, all right? So maybe that's what they want us to look at here, all right? Okay. All right, so we discussed a passage, related to the previous skill that has to do with focusing on word parts in order to, be able to choose the best meaning, of a certain word part, okay? Determine meaning from word part. We want to move on to the next skill, which is use context to determine meanings of simple words. Simple? I don't know why they're saying simple. Simple words, then why use the context if they are simple, right? Yeah, but okay. Thank you for telling us that the words we always thought of as difficult were really simple, Yeah, they're simple for some people, probably those who wrote the TOEFL book, Yeah, they're 100% familiar with them. Anyway, use context to determine the meanings of, because meanings, not one word. We're not talking about one. We're talking about all the words they're going to ask you about, because they're not going to ask you about one. They're going to ask you about more than one word. All right. So we want to use the context means, before and after, guys, information. When we talk about context means in Arabic السياق. بدنا نستخدم السياق حتى نعرف بعض المعاني للكلمات اللي بتنطلب منا في امتحان التوفل. All right. So this is what we want to pay attention to, the context, because a lot of times I want to tell you something. There are words in English that have different meanings, even, that. How can I tell what it means, the word itself, when it has more than one meaning, and sometimes the meanings are very different. The context, we always say, determines the meaning. السياق بيحدد لي إيش معنى الكلمة. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, this is what you have to use, the context, guys, in order to decide on the meaning when you really don't know the meaning of the word. You've never heard it before, right? So make use of that. And I'm sure that many of you guys have done this before. You will sometimes be asked to determine the meaning of a simple word. يعني ممكن ينطلب منا إنه إيش معنى هالكلمة البسيطة بسيطة, then why use the context, Okay, all right. A word that you see often in everyday English, all right? كلمة ممكن تكون مرات كلمة بنشوفها دايما بالنص. Yes, it's true. I think they mean here that it's when it's a word, guys, like for example, have, take. The word take, guys, and has so many meanings. It's a simple word. That's what they mean here. Okay. So what does it mean really? So did you take a shower? Did you take the book? Did you take something away? So you see, the word take has different meanings. Okay. Did you take off? I took off.
Take your time.
Exactly. See? So now we have to make use of the context, the rest of this, let me say, if it's a phrasal verb, it's different now. All right. We have to make use of the other part of the phrase. All right. And, maybe the context as well, sometimes. All right. To decide what the word means. Okay. In this type of question, you should not give the normal everyday meaning of the word. Wait. So wait, guys, don't give the meaning right away. Instead, the TOEFL test wants to know the meaning of the word in this situation. Read the text and decide on the meaning based on the situation, guys. Meaning, what do they mean by the situation? The context itself. What are they really talking about here? All right. Let's take a look at, I feel, guys, that we skipped a skill. Did we? Let me just go back a bit just in case, because I'm not sure.
I think yes, Doctora. We skipped
Yeah,
one.
because listen, this is not the skill that I prepared for today. I remember I looked at something else, It's your fault, guys. I'm gonna blame you guys, huh? It's your fault. You should have told me that I skipped the skill that I was supposed to teach you today. Okay. All right. Here, I think this is it, right? Context. Yeah. This is more like it, right? Yeah. This is the one that I was, prepared to teach you. Okay. I was really surprised by that one. All right. So let's see. Take a look at this. I'm sorry, guys. Forgive me. But I have introduced a new skill for you right now. And tomorrow I'm going to go, quickly over that skill then. All right. So use context to determine meanings of difficult words. Yeah, I was surprised really, because what I knew is that the word was difficult. So why keep saying, simple? I didn't read about simple stuff, Yeah. All right. So that's why it was kind of shocking to me. Anyway, use context to determine meanings of difficult words. Guys. Hello. Hello, guys. Just let me know if you can hear me or not, because I feel
Yes,
that.
doctor, I hear you.
Okay, yeah, I think
Yes, Doctora, we hear you.
yeah, I lost touch with you guys. Okay, so back to skill 10, use context to determine meanings of difficult words. Sometimes, guys, also, when you face a difficult word, how can you deal with this word? All right, how you will deal with it, is that you will read the context. You will read it in context. I mean, read the word itself in context and see what it means, decide what it means, even though you've never heard this word before. Okay, based on the context. I don't know why they use this very small sentence. They should have put this in some kind of passage or something of that kind. But we'll read the passage that follows. All right. So on the TOEFL test, you will sometimes be asked to determine the meaning of a difficult word. A word that you are not expected to know. Like sometimes there are words that you've never heard before. Yeah, languages are almost unlimited in a way. In this case, the passage will give you a clear indication of what the word means. So the passage meaning what, guys? النص حيساعدنا شوي إنه نتعرف على معنى الكلمة, right? Look at this. This is part of a passage. A line in the passage. هذا سطر بأحد النصوص. The barges headed across the lake. It's a small example. مثال صغير, guys, all right? The barges headed, اتجهت. Headed means اتجهت, guys, all right? Across عبر, the lake البحيرة, okay? Now, it would be really problematic if you did not know what lake meant, okay? يعني المشكلة إذا ما عرفتوا شو معنى lake, all right? لأنه هي المفروض إنه إذا عرفتوا شو معنى lake رح تعرفوا شو معنى barges, all right? That's the thing. Yes, Dr. Ghaith, what do you want to say? Do you want to answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, because we are speaking about crossing a lake, so I think it's the best answer, the best answer is a boat.
Yes, it is a boat. So the barges are boats, okay? What if we had, instead of the word barges, the canoes? The canoes. Have you ever heard the canoes?
Yeah. The small one made from wood.
Yes, it's long and narrow. Yes.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
That used in
the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe by the Indians, themselves,
Yeah, I want to say that the Indians, they use it.
Yeah. All right. Yes, thank you. And in different parts of the world, boats have different, words, for them. All right. Yeah. And so probably people use, let me say, those words for boats sometimes. Yeah, and they use English, but they and then they use the term that they are used to using, let me say, in their country or something of that kind. Anyway, yes, correct, 100%. So the barges means the boat. It should not be a boat, but because he says here a barge, one is probably which of the following? Yes, it's a boat. So the boat's headed across the lake, basically, because a train is not going to head across the lake, or a bicycle or a plane, because they will drown. You know that, right? They will sink. All right. Let's say. Okay, let's take a look at the passage now and make use of this, kind of introduction. All right. So I don't know why they rushed to tell us this, okay? But let's take a look at the context clues and or let me say the information they have over here first, and then we'll move on to the passage. Okay. Up here, we have in this type of question, the question that you answer, Dr. Ghaith, you are not expected to know the meaning of the word barge. Yani those who have written the exam, or let me say the TOEFL exam, they probably know that most of you have not heard of this word, all right? Because it's not a used word among, native speakers. Even if you've watched movies, maybe you won't hear it because maybe it's an old word, not used. It's not that common, all right? Yeah. Instead, you should understand from the context that if the barge went across a lake, then it is probably a type of boat. Okay. Answer D is therefore the best answer. So you are going to use the context to determine the meaning of this difficult word, or this word that you've never probably heard before. Okay. Now we have a chart. And the following chart, what does it do? It outlines the key information that you should remember about vocabulary questions containing difficult words. Like if the TOEFL exam, we're going to ask you a question about, a difficult word, how would the structure of the sentence be, or the question be? How would the structure of the question be? It would be either like this. What is the meaning directly? They'll tell you, what is the meaning of barges, maybe, in the passage, line 1, line 2, line 3, whatever. Okay. The meaning of the word in line 1, barges, etc. Or which of the following is closest in meaning? أي من التالية أقرب إشي لمعنى هاي الكلمة، والكلمة ممكن تكون barges, or it could be something, different, all right? Whatever the word is, okay? So the question, the word is difficult, sorry, here. The word is a difficult word, one that you probably do not know, yeah. Where to find the answer? Where can you find the answer to the meaning of the word, guys? The question usually tells you in which line of the passage the word can be found. Of course, you guys have to go back to the passage, read the line, guys. Where is the word? Read it in the context that it's written in, all right, or put in, okay? And then there will be some kind of a sign. Like, remember here we talked about what? The lake. The lake is what helped me understand that we were talking about boats. But unfortunately, if you did not know that a lake was a body of water, لو ما عرفنا إنه lake معناها بحيرة, I'm sorry, you're going to be in big trouble, and maybe you won't be able to answer the question, okay? How to answer the question. كيف نجاوب على هذا السؤال, guys, okay? Find the word in the passage. When the word is when you're asked about a certain word which is difficult, go find it. They tell you the line number, so go count the lines, all right? Read the sentence that contains the word carefully. So كل الجملة, guys, دايما شفتوني كيف إنه بروح على بداية الجملة حتى أقرأ ولاقي الكلمة بالجملة في النص في السياق, all right? Look for context clues. بدنا ندور على إيش, guys؟ شو يعني clues؟ كلمات بتساعدني في إنه بتدلني على المعنى. Like زي ما قلنا بهي الجملة اللي قبل, can we had what? Lake, to help you understand the meaning. بيساعدني. Choose the answer that the context indicates. طبعا I have to read the options. I don't know why they didn't mention them. This, okay? And then I read the options, and and then decide on the answer. All right? Take a look at this beautiful passage over here. I don't know, I enjoyed reading it, okay? I hope everybody enjoys it right now with me. So the Black Widow, الأرملة السوداء. I'm sure all of you have heard about the Black Widow. Have you ever heard about the Black Widow before, guys? No? None of you have heard of it? I'm sure you have. Come on. It's a It's a what?
Yes, it's a spider.
Good job. It's a spider. Good job. And it's a male or female spider? Come on.
Female.
Yes. A strong female. All right. So the black widow, الأرملة, widow means أرملة. طيب أرمل, just add ER. The black widower, if it were that, but there is no such thing as the black widower. But أرمل, guys, means widower. Just add ER and it would be أرمل. أرملة, widow. Can you imagine? So the black widow is the most dangerous spider living where? In the United States. Oh my gosh, it's very dangerous, huh? This black widow, is most common in the southern parts of the country. So maybe, in Arizona, that's in the, they say where? In the southern parts.
Florida.
Yeah, south. Yeah, maybe Florida. Who knows? I'm not really sure, Florida is one of those, countries that are in the south. I think Arkansas, Texas, also, these are countries that are New Mexico. We just mentioned New Mexico. So take a look at the map of the United States of America and look at the states, and where they are, where, they are, in which part of the country they are. But it can be found throughout the country. But kaman, it's available, all around America, but, mostly in the South. The black widow got its name. Where did it get its name? Because the female has been known, معروف إنه الأنثى من هذا العنكبوت شو بيعمل, guys, to kill the male after mating. Can you imagine? So تقتل الذكر بعد الزواج. And as a result, ونتيجة لذلك, what happens? It becomes a widow. And that's why, guys, it becomes a widow. ولذلك بتصير widow, right? Widow means أرملة. The black widow is rather distinctive, all right? Distinctive in what? In appearance. بشكلها حتى, guys, distinct يعني مميزة, right? Unique. It has, now it's going to be, look at these, remember what we said about this? Either the dash or this usually explains, like what was mentioned earlier, okay? It has a shiny globular body. جسمها. The body is what? Shiny. بالماء فيه لمعة. Globular from globe, guys, like round, chunky, and round. The size and shape of a pea. What's a pea, guys? They حبة.
البازيلا.
Thank you, bazella. It's like kind of round. And is marked on its underbelly with a red or yellow spot. وحتى في الunderbelly, guys, جزء من جسمها من
تحت البطن.
Exactly. There's a red or yellow spot. في نقطة إما بتكون حمراء أو صفراء على جسمها. هاي كمان علامة إنه to know if this spider, guys, إذا هذا العنكبوت, the black widow or not. Okay. The female,
دكتورة.
Yeah.
دكتورة بالجملة باللاين 5 احنا دائما بنقول distinctive بس لما نحكي rather distinctive شو بتصير المعنى تبعها؟
Rather is مائلة معناها. The word rather يعني بشكل مائلة أكتر شيء يعني. That's what it means, all right?
طب distinctive مميز يعني شو كيف نربطهم مع بعض؟
Well,
شو بتصير معنا؟
I want to tell you something about rather. Rather معناها مائلة أكتر إنها تكون مميزة. معناها sometimes it might not be really, okay? لكن أكتر شيء هيك الميل اللي بتلاقيه يعني, all right? What you find, that's what it means, all right? All right? So you can remove this all together.
Okay.
You can remove this all together and the sentence would be fine. So the addition of it means
يعني مائلة للتميز بشكل.
Most likely. غالبا هيك يعني. Got it? Yeah.
إذا نترجمها نحكي
100% يعني مش كل حالة بتلاقيها 100% like this. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
So the female, etc. Oh, so I was right here. The female is considerably more ample than the male. What does ample mean? I don't think you've heard this word before. Have you? Than the male. But look, now you can guess what it means because look what they say. It's more ample, roughly. تقريبا. Roughly means تقريبا, guys. 4 times larger on the average. Wow. You know, أكبر منه كم مرة بالحجم. So, and he's
4 مرات.
and he's the husband, not the son. Be careful. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, what does the word ample mean? So, think about this. If a human,
Huge or ضخم.
good. Yeah. More ample, more, you know, like larger in terms of size, right? So, if a human is bitten, okay, by a black widow like me or you, God forbid, huh? The spider's poison, what happens, can cause severe illness and pain. يعني what's poison?
السم البويزن.
السم اللي يعني بتطرحه في جسم الإنسان بيسبب مرض كبير وألم. You know, black widow bites يعني قرصتهم عضتهم. Okay, have occasionally غالبا عادة, you know, sometimes, you know, well, occasionally, like, you know, sometimes really, okay, resulted in death. يعني قليل ما إنه الشخص اللي بنقرص من البلاك ويدو بيموت. Okay, بس يعني صارت في حالات صراحة. لما تقولوا occasionally معناها like sometimes. alright, here كلمة occasionally جاي هون بمعنى أحيانا. alright, بس يعني مش كل مرة، مش شائع كتير. because الoccasion معناها بالمناسبات. it depends. تعرفوا الأمريكان كل يوم بعد يوم في مناسبات، بس بالأردن عندنا 2 or 3. So the word occasionally والله هي يعني it's hard, you know. So but let me give you something, guys, about the word occasionally. بالعادة المناسبات بالنسبة للأيام بتكون أقل, which means the word itself occasionally could be used to mean sometimes, not always. Okay, not always, less than always. Huh? And you don't want to say usually, وبلاش نقول كمان usually لأنها usually زي ما تقولوا كمان معناها زي 85% 90%. Okay, فخلينا على sometimes ولسه أقل شوي كمان لما نقول about occasionally when we talk about the word occasionally. So it resulted in death, but it is certainly not the norm for black widow bites to be mortal. شايفين مش يعني لسعتها أو عضتها للblack widow guys عادة they are not see the word not mortal, يعني ما بيأدوا للموت أو ما بقتلوا. Okay, that's the thing. يعني مش قاتلة عادة. Okay, now in line 2, يلا, who would like to read this? يلا, we'll go to line 2 for your sakes. Here we go. This is line 2. Who would like to read? يلا, let me see some hands up. Hands up, guys. This is not exercise, This is, you know, to answer the questions. Come on. Dr. Ghaif, let me listen to you guys. Come on. We only have 2 weeks to go. Do you know that? 2 weeks only. Show me your best. I still did not, you know, put down the participation grades. Yeah, go ahead. Dr. Ghaith, you're going to get 10 out of 10. Dr.
Okay. It's from 20, I think.
You know, I mean, if it's going, well, we flip 10 out of 10 to 20, how much will it be? We can do the math later. Right? Yeah. Dr. Asim is going to get maybe like 7, 6.5. Dr. Islam, where are you? It's been a while. I didn't hear you.
Yes, I'm here, doctor.
Yeah, we don't want a 6 or a 7. We want a 10 out of 10, right? All right. So you guys are right. Your names are right in front of me. That's why I'm saying this, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna be, you know, strict on you guys and not on the others. The same. Okay. So I want your participation, all of you. Dr. Ghaith, go for number 1, then Dr. Isra will do number 2.
Okay. The word widow means a type of poison that hit male spider, the human victim of the spider, a female whose mate has died. Letter D, a male whose mate has died.
Thank you. Good. Widow. Here it is in line 2. We have talked about this. All right. You know, the black widow got its name because the female, etc. And they tell you, like, imagine if I did not tell you about the word widow. Imagine you never knew and you just read this for the first time. You read because the female has been known to kill the male after mating, and as a result, so they're telling you why it's called black widow. Okay, black because it's black, but widow because it does this, it kills the male after mating, And the result is that it becomes a widow. What does that mean? By itself, you know? So a female whose mate has died is the closest answer. Look at the other options. A type of poison? Of course not. This has nothing to do with it. The dead male spider, they're not talking about the dead male spider. They're talking about this woman here. Sorry, this spider, I mean. The human victim of the spider. They're not talking about victims, guys. The victim اللي هو يعني الشخص اللي انقرص اللي انعض
الضحية.
ضحية. Thank you so much for that. They're not talking about that. Here they're just telling you who the widow is. So it's a female whose mate means like husband, partner, has died. Yes, Dr. Isra. Go for number 2. Let's go downward. And I'll go back to line 5 for a minute. In a minute, I'm sorry.
Okay. Which of the follow is closed in the meaning of the word glober?
Yeah.
Mean
Globular.
round
Yeah.
in line 5?
Yes. True.
That's right.
Globular.
Yeah.
It's correct. Yes. You said what? Globular.
Round.
Good job. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes. It's true. Thank you so much, Dr. Isra. So
welcome.
go to line 5 for 5. The black widow is rather distinctive in appearance. It has a shiny globular body. And then the size and shape of a pea. When they tell you a shape of a pea, the pea is what? Again, I want to say, if you don't know what pea means, pea, you know, this, you know, let me say kind of plant, all right? You're going to have a problem, okay? Also, you got it? Yeah. But, you know, sometimes you can use your imagination to, you know, sometimes you know some information besides, you know, the meaning of the word, you know, that follows, all right? So yes, round, the shape of a pea. This is helpful. It's not, they don't mean it's green, guys. Come on, it's called the black widow, okay? What is this? Luminescent means like it gives like a kind of glow, like a light. It doesn't glow. It's not
Yes.
like, yeah,
مضيئة.
exactly. And then earthen, that means like the earth, okay? Or part of it's something that lives on earth or something like that. No, they don't mean that. They are talking about the shape of the body. And this is the best answer over here. All right, let's go for 3. Dr. Islam. After Dr. Islam, I'm going to have to listen to you guys. Dr. Sana, Dr. Dua, Dr. Rida, Dr. Abla, Dr. Ala. Dr. Ala, we never heard your voice. Dr. Abla. Come on, Dr. Afnan. Dr. Zaid, Dr. Hanadi, Dr. Ali. Come on, Dr. Ali. I'm sure you're not on the road anymore. You got home. Dr. Mishal, if not now, after the break. Dr. Hanadi, come on. Where are you? Dr. Hanadi? Come on, Dr. Rawan. All of you guys, Dr. Hiba, please let me listen to you guys. Let me hear your awesome voices and your participation. Dr. Islam, go for number 3.
Yes, doctor. The word ample in the line 7 indicates that the spider is, I think the answer is B, large in size, maybe.
Correct, 100%. Thank you so much for that. Yes, the word ample, because we were talking about the size, right? 7. So we said 5, 6, 7. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Let's go. Remember, guys, the way to read is always go for the beginning of the sentence. The female is considerably more ample. What does this mean? Than the male. And then look what they say, roughly 4 times larger on the average. So obviously, we're talking about size. More what? Ample meaning bigger. More ample, more what? You know, abundant in terms of size. All right. Yeah, that's the thing. So bigger. Okay, yeah.
We said the size and the shape is like the pea.
Yes.
A pea, sorry.
Yes.
And it's so the male is يعني
Smaller.
Smaller than the pea of 4 times.
I love your imagination. Who's talking here, Dr. Ghaith?
Yes.
Maybe this is, come on. Now, Dr. Ghaith, you know, you've seen peas before. Some of them are very big and tasty, by the way, and others are very small. And guess what? I think they're very small and they had a problem growing, you know, so they're very small. Maybe that's that's the male spider. That's the smallest sized pea. And the female spider is like the biggest size a pea can, you know, be. All right. There are some really big ones. I know. I've seen them before that are really
Okay.
5 sizes bigger or 4 sizes bigger. But I just want to listen, Dr. Ghait, I just want you to be to understand this as symbolic, that the female really is a lot bigger in terms of size. Okay, something of that kind.
Okay.
Sometimes they exaggerate, sometimes that. Okay, yeah. I like the way you think. That's really something that, yeah, attracted your attention. It's really good. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Right? Like 4 times. Wow, 4 times. That's a lot. I want to think about, something that is 4 times as big. Yes, it's huge, like this and then like this. Yeah. Okay, 4. Who's going to do 4? I think I chose someone for 4. Was it someone that I chose? Where are you? Where are you? Yes, Dr. Asim.
Number 4,
Mm-hmm.
the word mortal is closed in meaning toward deadly.
Good. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. I think this is the second day, class, in which we talked about the word mortal. Remember yesterday we talked about mortal and immortal. Do you remember? Do you remember? Don't tell me you don't remember. When we talked about God as being what? Immortal. And human beings as being mortals, like people who die, creatures that die. God is the opposite. God is immortal. ربنا immortal. Immortal معناها باقي خالد. لا يفنى. لكن mortal معناها بنتهي بيموت. All right, له نهاية. Okay? Yeah, you have your hand up, Dr. Awesome. Can I say something about this? No? Okay. So this is the answer.
No.
Okay, deadly. Of course, it's not painful. We didn't talk about pain here. We did not talk about poisonous or sickening. Sickening means also something that causes sickness, No, it's not none of those. So we want to stop right here, guys. And after the break, we'll talk about the grammar, the next grammar skill. We're going to talk about ing adjectives and ed adjectives. So you enjoy your break. See you later. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.